Hello and welcome to today's edition of the Electric Glory webcast. I'm Samantha and I'm really happy to be here with you today on this crisp winter January day. Today I'd like to share with you on what has become a key revelation of my life and a key verse. It's Proverbs 8:30-31. It's not well known, but when I was in my early 20s, I read a book called The Ecstasy of Loving God. And it really shaped my world. It changed my world. I was too harsh and I was too focused on works and doing things for God. And I didn't know totally how to just love God and be enjoyed by Him. But this verse really stuck out to me. And I'm going to read to you. It's Proverbs 30, chapter 8, verses 30 and 31 from the King James Version. And I might go on to other translations as well. Then I was by him, as one brought up with him. And I was daily his delight, rejoicing always before him, rejoicing in the habitable part of his earth. And my delights were with the sons of men. I'd like to shed light on some of the Hebrew words in this verse because just reading it from the plain English version, I don't think you can get the full meaning of this. So in the King James Version, the word translated as one brought up with him is actually the Hebrew word amon, and it means craftsman or artificer. And what I think this verse is alluding to is the fact that Christ was with God creating all things at the beginning. And I think this verse is referring to Jesus rejoicing before the Father and co-creating with him as he created the world. This whole chapter is about wisdom, and wisdom is about knowing God. And I think in these particular verses, it is alluding to a pre-incarnate Christ. Don't get me hard and fast on it. I think it's true, and it's the opinion of many scholars. And for the sake of what I'm going to teach you today, it works. And I was daily his delight. The word his in the original Hebrew isn't even there. It just says, I was delights, meaning I was delight itself. Then we come to the word rejoicing. Rejoicing here is the Hebrew word sakak. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And it means to play, to joke, to jest, to rejoice. And it's the same expression used when David played before the ark of the Lord as it entered Jerusalem. And when we get to the word before, it's actually the Hebrew word panim, which means face. And what I got from this verse and what I learned is that every day I need to learn to co-labor with the Father, to know I'm his delight and to rejoice before his face. He longs for an intimate relationship. He's not far off and he's not distant. And a lot of us think that we are supposed to do things that we hate because that is carrying our cross. Well, the truth is that is not so. I think there are times we have to do things, of course, that we don't like. But the chief end of man is to know God and enjoy him forever. And to know him and be enjoyed by him. I'm going to go on to some other translations. Then I was constantly at his side. I was filled with delight, day after day, rejoicing always in his presence. Rejoicing in the habitable parts of his earth, and my delights were with the sons of men. There's wisdom, co-creating with the Father, rejoicing in the earth, and delighting in humanity. God wants to delight in you. He wants you to know that you are his. And he wants you to spend every day in his presence, being known and loved by him. The key person I can think of in the last 100 years, or 400 years who lived this way was Brother Lawrence, practicing the presence of God. And no matter what he was doing, he learned to attune himself to God's presence, whether he was washing dishes, feeding animals, doing business. And I think that is the true goal in our lives, to spend every day loving God and being loved by him and working with him. Let's go on to the New Living Translation. I was the architect at his side. I was his constant delight, rejoicing always in his presence. And how happy I was with the world he created. How I rejoiced with the human family. And now we're going to go to the Dowie Reams. I was with him, forming all things, and was delighted every day, playing before him at all times, playing in the world, and my delights were with the children of men. Friends, I want you to take home the fact that God has a good plan for you. He wants you to spend your time with him and rejoice before his face. And his desire is to be a loving father and to play with you. And I pray that this reality gets into every day of your life, and that more and more you grow to love him and to be in his presence. This is the Electric Glory Webcast. This is Samantha Keenan, and I'll see you guys soon.